What's going on? So this video is a continuation of the last video of me installing the updated ignition system in the car. I have a lot of things done, but there's still more things to do. So since the last video of this project, I did get some things done. I finally got a lot of the wiring consolidated. I hope I have it right. Like, that's my biggest fear right now, is hoping I have everything right. See, the way I had it wired in before using the factory ignition system, it's different than how it's wired now, and I think I could have did it. You can wire it a couple different ways, but when you use the factory ignition module, there's like a certain way you did it, and that was the first time I wired the micro squirt. So the way it kind of was before is this kind of received the signal from the crank position sensor and all of that, and then the micro squirt got signal from this and basically kind of worked its way around. But now what happens is the micro squirt gets the signal from the crank position sensor and then processes it and sends a signal back to the ignition box, and then it controls the coils. So there was a lot of, I had to think about it, I had to go and do some research. Thankfully there's a lot of stuff online you can read about if you search around enough on wiring these mega squirt, micro squirt systems. So I figured out what I need to do. I hope it's the right way though. But needless to say, I did get a lot of the wiring consolidated here. There's a few kind of things I need to just finish up. I want to see if it works before I do that. Let's see here. I had to get a new positive cable for the battery because the other one was just horrible. So this will all be cleaned up eventually. Like I said, I want to make sure it works. So this right here is splicing together some of the factory harness to the harness that comes with the ignition box. So this here has a few wires that go to it, and then it has the leads to the positive, negative on the coil, and so there's that. And also the output, the TAC output for the factory cluster runs through these wires as well. And all that goes in down there. It's nice tucked away, out of the way. I cleaned up what I could, the best I could, but it's still a lot of wires just running around everywhere. Everything is mostly how it will be. I'm gonna tidy up some things once I confirm that everything is mechanically good and what have you. But it's a lot better than it was. I mean, I'm a lot happier with the way it looks now than it was. So before, it was a freaking mess. So yeah, I mean, I'm a lot happier with the wiring, how it is, and it tucks this back nicely. You know, I can still access the rev limiter knobs there if I need to. So I think that's a pretty solid location for it. Now I just have to figure out where I'm going to put the ignition coil. So most, the ignition coil's power is pretty simple, nothing crazy. So wiring wise, it won't take much, and I already have, like I said, I already have the lead to it ready to roll. I do need to cut the ends off that and use a connector that goes into that coil. But other than that, it should be good to go. I still have to figure out where I want to put it. I don't really know. I'm thinking about maybe making a bracket somewhere like here, just using the bolts and making a bracket and have it sit on top or something. I'm not really sure. I have some things around I can use and modify or whatever to make a bracket. But right now we need to figure out what to do with the ignition coil. So that's what I'm going to work on here. Once I get something figured out, come back to the video. All right, we're making progress here. Spark plug wires. There's a coil. Now I know this is kind of not right, but this will be how it is for now, at least to see if I can get it running. So yeah, I know it's pretty dumb looking, but this was like a bracket that came off the Cobra that I just never threw away for some reason. And thankfully I didn't, because at least for now it's coming in handy, and I can actually probably repurpose it somewhere else along the way to do this exact same job. Because oddly enough, these two holes that were in the bracket, let me see here, these two holes that were right here were the same width as the coil pack. So it kind of worked out for me. So that is that's going to be how that is, at least to see if it runs. The only thing is, so I finally figured out what kind of coil pack this is. This is for like a PT Cruiser. So I need to get the connector to a PT Cruiser. That way I can hook it up to the ignition box, and yeah. It's coming along, it's coming along, it's getting there, it's getting there. We're really, really close. Like I said, hope that at least I did things right, so once I make some tweaks, the car will run, and I'm not, you know, chasing my tail again, trying to figure out what I did wrong. Because I have a feeling that's what I'm going to be doing after this is all said and done. Looks a lot better now, and since I'm not using the factory coils anymore, I can actually probably just cut these coil wires and just get that piece of the harness out of the way, and it will really clean up this side of the engine bay. And yeah, that's going to look pretty sweet. So now I just got to get that plug on there and put the spark plugs in, and I'm a little tired if you haven't noticed. Okay, so I'm standing in the light. There's a lot of things that are subject to change. I hope I have this right going to the coil. I end up getting connector from AutoZone, and I'm hoping that the colors are that for a reason, and so it would be coil positive, negative, and then I guess ground, like engine ground or whatever. There's that. They go to the ignition box. Ground goes just here for now. Once I verify that everything works, I'll obviously tidy up some of this wiring. It's kind of crude, and put this with the rest of the grounds underneath there, underneath the battery. Everything is wired. Spark plug wires are on, spark plugs are in, and actually once this gets all together, it's going to look kind of nice. Get these wires put together right, you know, so they're not all over the freaking place. This should be an extremely, I mean, this ignition system is way too nice for this engine at the moment. Hopefully this will fix my issues and I can actually start and run the car. So with that said, I have to make some adjustments in Tuner Studio and see if I can get it started. If the car starts, you'll know because you'll see a video of that. You know, tensions were high. There was a lot of just energy in the air as I was getting ready to turn the key, and then all of a sudden I realized things were not happening. So I come over here and I'm looking around like, what's going on? Why isn't this working? Because I'm, you know, now I'm like, oh God, what did I screw up now? But the thing is, the car's not starting. The starter's not starting. So I come over here and I look at the starter solenoid and I'm like, oh yeah, there is a piece missing there. I guess that that needs to be there. Because I end up taking a wire. I'm like, yeah, where'd this come from? And I put a ring terminal on it and I stuck it on there because there was nowhere else to put it. I think I found where it went. Looking around, I found this on the floor, which is the post that I you know, gets the switched signal. So I'm like, son of... Oh, great. So now really can't do anything more tonight because I need a new starter solenoid. So I guess I'll be ordering one and picking one up tomorrow, and we'll come back to this. These are like this small annoying things. I guess I could have paid attention and made sure I didn't do that, but then again, whatever. Nice thing is, if I replace the solenoid, this one's obviously older and whatever. If I replace a solenoid, I know that for the most part won't be a problem point in the future. Hang tight with me. It'll be a long time for me, a short time for you, because gotta love YouTube videos. And through the magic of editing, here is a brand new Motorcraft starter solenoid. So, going to go ahead and get the broken one out and this one in, and hopefully the car will start. My luck, that ain't going to be the case. New starter solenoid is in, and hopefully, with any stroke of luck, now the car will at least turn over. So let's go try to do that. Wow, starts pretty good now. Woo! You see this face? This is not the face of joy. This may be the face of ultimate beauty, but definitely not joy. Let me explain what's going on here. So, I really thought I was going to get this all done in this video. This is going to be a very long process, it seems. Because I am learning so freaking much. I've never done any of this before. I've never put a standalone ECU in the car. I've never changed an ignition system completely using components from different cars. I've never done any of this. So I'm discovering so many things as I go along that that are just not right. And I realize what's not working. So let me go and just do a quick recap here. I've butchered my beautiful wiring because I was trying to splice in. So this is the connector that goes down to the crank sensor, and I thought like I had to splice it in a special way or something to the micro squirt or whatever, but it seems to be that my understanding is the vane style Hall effect sensors. That's what they're called. There's two different vanes and they spin each other and whatever. They're kind of a complicated mess. A, they're not really the best for tuning, and B, from what I understand, which is why I can't get it working, is you do need to have some control module to interpret the signal before it actually gets sent to an ECU, standalone, whatever. So that's kind of annoying because these are like $100 just for a cheap factory one, you know, for this exact style. And you can get like the 5.0 style ones for about the same, but you can get them from like different brands. Actually, probably get them less. I think I've seen them for like 60. But dude, why am I going to sit there and spend $60 on something like this when I've already got, you know, the ability to run a much better setup, especially for tuning? I've decided to do a couple things. Ultimately, it did require me spending more money. I was not looking to do that, full disclosure, but it seems that there was really no way out of it. But this is what I think I'm going to need to do. So, see here, got my handy dandy phone light. And if you see that pulley right down there with the, actually you can't see it. Hold on, let me see if I can sneak the camera down in here. That way you see what's going on. That one right there. That one, oh, yep, there we go. Obviously, that's your crank pulley. So this is like a two-piece design pulley that was designed to go with, like, it was like a staggered setup for the air conditioner compressor. There we go. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. And so the nice thing about it is I can basically use that stepped out pulley and put on a trigger tooth. So at DIYAutotune.com, where I got pretty much all the micro squirt stuff, they do sell, you know, nicely. They seem to be nice pieces. You know, they're toothed wheels, 36 minus 1 wheel to adapt those type setups to these cars, or I mean any setup really. So I ended up getting that. I got, yeah, I think it's like 6 3/4 or something wheels. It will sit out from the smaller pulley, but it will use that front part to bolt on. So I got that, and I got the Hall effect sensor, which is better for tuning. It's more resolution in how the car calculates spark. They've tested those components to work with all the mega squirts, all the micro squirts. As long as I hook it up right, theoretically, it should work. And I should be able to, you know, have a spark signal, because right now I don't, and that sucks. But the good thing is, redoing all this wiring, taking my time redoing the grounds, new starter solenoid. I mean, I cleaned up everything I could on the wire wheel, all the wires. I replaced some of the wires, like the positive cable here has been replaced with a nice new one. I mean, this car cranks over so nice now. Electrically, it's working really good now. Like, it has a really strong start. and just everything sounds happy electrically. Even the fuel pump prime is like super strong now. Like it didn't sound nearly as strong before. So I definitely made some improvements with the electrical system, which is good. So all my work has really not gone to waste. It really has just led me to make a nice electrical system, but I still need to get the car to start so I can tune it. So which is why this ignition project here is going to be spanning probably a video or two more, because I'll hopefully be putting on the trigger wheel and the new sensor and hooking it up, and then I should be good to go. So you definitely want to keep a lookout for these upcoming videos here. I'm continuing the ignition project here on the Fox body, so that's going to be coming up probably, I don't know, the next couple weeks. I gotta wait for parts to come in. So when they come in, I'm gonna start getting them on and making the videos on that. So, you know, be a little patient with me, but we'll hopefully get this car running and I can start tuning it, because this beautiful weather is coming. So windy today. Let me actually step back in the garage so we're not getting wind noise here. It's a little windy today, but it has been phenomenal weather here in Maryland, which is unusual for this time of the year. So definitely time to have the convertible. So I gotta get this car running. So yes, coming up very shortly. But that is it for this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and if you want to see more content like this, then go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and keep a lookout for the next video.